Aldo asks, what feature functionality do you secretly desire from the Windows operating system, both desktop or server? I don't know that there is any. And I don't mean that as a dig against Windows or any other operating system. I just don't know that there is any at this point. Really. Like from a user interface standpoint, there's nothing that I look at Windows, whether it's Windows 8, Windows 10, what have you, and I go, ooh, I really want that. There just really isn't. They do some things that look nice enough. It's just that I can have something similar or something nicer on a wide array of multitude of other operating systems anyway. But that said, the same holds true for Mac OS. There's really not a lot of functionality in current Mac OS that I yearn for on Linux or any other desktops. Now, that said, there are operating systems that I look at them and I think those are some cool features. I would like this in my modern system. Like, in my Linux-based system with my GNOME or Mate or XFCE or whatever desktop I'm using at the time, here's some features that I would like. And here's a couple of them that I think would be really cool. One would be more prevalence of applications that contain all of their dependencies and don't need to be installed. We have the technology for that already in AppImage and to a lesser degree Flatpaks and those sorts of things. But like if we used app images and just really use those a lot, it makes installing applications easier because applications don't need to be installed. They just exist and they're fine, and you double click them and they auto run. And so I like that. I don't know if I want all of my systems operating like that. I've gone back and forth on this, but I like that functionality from an end user standpoint. It's just so easy to do. If distributions really embraced it and made it so, you could go and just grab whatever applications you want and you just drag and drop it to your desktop, to a home folder, to an applications folder inside your home folder, wherever. You can just put it wherever and it just works. I like that. I'm also a really big fan of making things very modular. So like, for instance, within my Linux kernel, I've got a whole lot of drivers, right? I would like a nice, easy way to quickly disable all of them or some of them, or just one or two of them temporarily. A very simple way to do that would be really, really cool. I know there's some technological hurdles to be able to do that there. But what I think of that is I think of the classic Mac OS. They have this thing called extensions. In the root of a Mac OS system drive, you have this folder called extensions, and you could literally go in there and grab each extension, which each extension was like a device driver, like your graphics card driver or a custom driver for your DVD drive or something like that. And you just drag it out of that folder. And then when you reboot, it's not loaded. And you want to use it again, you drag that extension back into your folder. Reboot, now it's loaded. And I really like that. It makes it easy to troubleshoot driver issues, which was very handy. It also makes it so that if you want to like really free up all the RAM you possibly can and all the CPU cycles you possibly can to just focus on one thing, you could just disable all the drivers that you don't need, except for the couple of extensions you want, like maybe your GPU and whatnot, and then reboot, and then it's like the most streamlined system possible. I really like that. I would love to see something similar on the Linux side of things, where you could, whether it's checkboxes or even a text-based configuration file, where I could just disable a whole slew of kernel modules and device drivers within the kernel. I think that would be really neat. That's probably my number one feature request that I would really like. This clip of the Lunduk Show is brought to you in part by Purism. They make laptops filled with free software, good feelings, and hardware kill switches to protect your privacy. Find out more at Purism, PURI.SM. And if you need more, head on over to patreon.com/Brian Lunduk for the full-length version of today's show.